Hey, World Entertainment, and this is an incredibly weird and strange story because it's a massive rumour, but for some reason it seems to be getting a bit of traction. Now, it's a fan theory, but it comes from probably the image of James Gunn and none other than Zack Snyder, which we know that they did that to troll the internet. They've said as much. Even James Gunn went, oh yeah, we did this thinking it would blow up the internet, and actually apparently got annoyed that it didn't. Now, what is this rumour? Well, of course, you're looking on the thumbnail and you saw David Cornsweet's Superman that's coming out in a few months, and Henry Cavill. But now it's the case of, well, wait a minute, if he's got an image of brand new Superman and Henry Cavill, and you've just mentioned Zack Snyder's photo with James Gunn, is Henry Cavill gonna actually be back as Superman with Zack Snyder? Are they gonna do like an Elseworld version or something? No. The rumour is actually even weirder than that, which we have heard that kind of being floated about as well, especially when that photo came out. No, this rumour involves Ultraman, who we know is in the movie. And of course, for people unfamiliar with Ultraman, Ultraman is a clone of Superman, which this could be a spoiler, I suppose, for the movie, but probably everyone should know that by now anyway. But that's what Ultraman is. He ultimately starts off as Ultraman before he becomes a full-on Superman with basically a Superman suit. Just instead of an S, it's a U. And I think later on it did change to an S as well. I'm not sure. But he's an evil, basically, clone of Superman. The rumour, as you may have guessed by now, is people are starting to have a theory that none other than Henry Cavill himself is under that black mask in James Gunn's Superman. Yeah, they think he's actually portraying Ultraman, and that he will end up being the clone of Superman. Now, do I myself believe this rumour and believe this theory? Well,
hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, 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 hell no, no.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't. For one, you don't get rid of Henry Cavill and fire him from the role of Superman just to go ahead and bring him back to be a evil clone version of Superman. That would make no sense. Now, the theory, you kind of get it because the guy, when you see him photographed in those behind the scenes photos, walking next to Cornsweet when he's in the handcuffs and stuff, he looks the size for Cavill, he looks the build for Cavill, but it's obviously not going to be Henry Cavill. To start with, we do have kind of speculated and have heard from different places that, yeah, the reason Gunn got rid of Cavill is he actually doesn't particularly like Cavill. So you're not going to exactly get rid of him and bring in Cavill to portray this character. Again, I think the majority of this theory comes from the fact that that photo came out of James Gunn and Zack Snyder, because until that photo came out, we had not seen this rumour floating about. Now, you'll notice a lot of the main trades have not picked up on this rumour as of yet. You can find other smaller sites that are talking about it, but even they're kind of like going, yeah, don't really see this actually being what's happening. That it's going to turn out that Ultraman in this movie, when the mask comes off, because it will probably come off, that it's going to be Henry Cavill underneath the mask. I don't see it happening. I cannot see it happening, and it would be an absolute mistake if it was, because you are just going to aggravate people, especially everyone who called James Gunn out for like, hey, what the hell did you fire Henry Cavill for? That was your first mistake with your new DCU. If you're going to do that, you're going to have that backlash. Just to stick him in as Ultraman and think, what is that going to? Oh, that'll please the fans. At least they'll still have Cavill in some way. Yeah, no, that will backfire spectacularly on them if they do that. So again, I don't myself believe this rumor or this theory. I think by now you would have probably heard something, even from those screenings, whether they were internal or not. You would have heard something coming out about Ultraman Not even, hey, it's Henry Cavill under the mask. You would have probably definitely heard though, wow, wait till you see the twist and surprise with a certain character in here, in a mask. That's what you would have gotten, and that hasn't happened. So, it's a fun theory, it's a bit of a weird theory, but it's only that, a theory. There's not a hope in hell that it's Henry Cavill. But that's the rumour and the theory doing the rounds, that Henry Cavill is under the mask as Ultraman in James Gunn's Superman. So, we'll wait and see. And with that, I'll leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.